Hello everyone, I'm James, and this is how to make your D&D game. I'm making these short videos to help new DMs out there create their own games with a step-by-step guide on what tools to use and how to use them, covering how to make maps, encounters, and how to use Roll20. Today, we're covering maps. Now, my preferred program to use for easy map making is Inkarnate. Its free tools are excellent for new and old Dungeon Masters alike. So let's get straight into it. First, go to inkarnate.com and make an account, and then sign in. You'll be greeted with this screen. Click on Create New Map. Click on Watercolor Battle Maps. Then click on Create Map. This is what you'll be greeted with. We will be creating a map underneath a brewery today that houses a wizard's tower. First, we want to sculpt the foreground, where the terrain will be. So with the mask tool up here, make sure add is selected and the brush tool shape grid locks is too. Go down to grid tool, down here, show grid. We want to turn this map into kind of a small map, so we're going to make the columns very wide, so we want to bring that down to 25. We have a large map here with this grid. And now fill in your map. With the S key and the W key, you can increase and decrease the size of your cursor. You can also Control Z to remove a mistake you've made. Now we've created our first room, we're going to keep going around. So keep pressing S. You can also do it through the actual program, but I prefer to use the S and W keys. So we're just creating some rooms here. If you want to switch quickly through add and subtract, since we're in the foreground, you can press A and D. So D will make it turn it into a subtract, so I can just delete this. And A will add it again. Now, if you have a problem, such as this line here is a bit wonky, just go over it again with the add, and it will fix it. And if you want to move around the map as well, hold spacebar down, press left click, you can easily move around. Your mouse cursor can quickly zoom in and out. So, say you're not happy with the overall clean look of this wizard's castle. You can mess up these lines. You just go into the mask tool, go into the shape edge tool, and make sure it's as small as you can make it. So, like 1, and make sure the smoothness is as small as you can make it 2. And you can zoom in and just follow the line. Unclick, and wonkify those lines for you. However, we don't want that because we're going to be adding walls to this. So right now you're thinking, well, that just looks like a bunch of green. So the main portion of this map is this corridor, this room, and this room. This room is the brewery. This is where our players will be entering. Now that I've mentioned that, you want to have a clear distinction between the brewery part and the wizard's tower part. So we want to go into the brush tools. We want to click on the Open Catalog. We want to click on only free text styles, because we're just using the free version right now. And we want to distinguish the brewery from the wizard's tower. So we don't want background, we want foreground. This is foreground. Background will do this. We don't want that. We want foreground. Okay? So, to make it a little bit easier, you can choose grid shapes, and it will just fill it all in for you. It's like a layer. Okay, so this is the brewery. Now we want to fill in the actual dungeon. So, we click on Stone Bright here, and just go over the whole thing. Now we have a clear 2-step brewery, wizard's tower. If you want to add a little bit more detail, use dungeon dark background to like maybe stain this up a little bit, because this is an ancient place. Bring down the opacity by a ton, and just use the shape edge tool here. Bring the size down with S, and just put some dots around. Okay, so that's our two areas clearly outlined now. So, next thing we want to do is we want to add some outlines. We want to add some maps to this. Now, you can make a map without walls. That's fine. However, we'll be putting walls into this because we want the full effect. So first of all, I already pre-did this at one point. You want to make the walls so they are, see that size there? Press S till it's down to 60. And like a puzzle, you want to be choosing in the catalog here, in the stamp catalog, you want to be choosing every single corner. So if you just want to reset it, just click on the recently used again. And let's get to it. So you can easily align your map with the D keys once you've got it selected. So just aligning it with your directional up, down, left, right keys is perfectly okay. Okay, so that's every single corner filled in. Now we've got to fill in all of the walls. So we want to choose the longer wall, which is this guy here. And we want to make sure it's the same size. It's actually remembered our settings. So now we will just go around and put all these walls in. Make sure they align, but don't worry if they don't align too much. You can go around it later. So say your corner doesn't align up with your wall. That's fine. Well, first of all, you want to put your wall down a layer because it's the corner that's going to make it more pronounced. And then just mess with your corner here. So just D key up and align it, and all good. So there isn't really a way that you can just consecutively keep this going along the line. I wish there was an Inkarnate, or if there is, I don't know about it. But what you can do is you can copy and paste. So if you've made a straight line here, you can just copy, paste, and just match it up. Delete what you don't need. Copy paste another one and just match it up. Make sure it's down a layer so it hides, and yeah, there you go. You got your wall. Okay, so we've done our dungeon portion. Now we want to make sure, so what this is there is a brewery above this place, and there's been a cave-in recently, and it's opened up into this old wizard's apothecary, and really bad things are happening in this wizard's apothecary. There's big giant beasts and large giant spiders and stuff that are, and rats that are being a problem. So we want to differentiate between the dungeon and the brewery. So we want to use different walls here. We want to use the thin wall, and again, corners. And don't worry about not getting the corners right, because as you'll go around the wall, you'll start to kind of align it as you go around. So we want to use the long wood wall here. Oops. Deselect that. Click the wood wall. So the hotkey to rotate is greater than and less than on the keyboard. If you want to just kind of make it a little bit easier on yourself. You see there, like there's a, oh, I forgot a corner. Yeah, I messed up a wall there, so we're going to just select that wall. And you see, like, we just need to edge in a little bit. So, boop, done. This corner is not properly aligned, and so is the... There we go. Perfect. And like as you go around, you will start fixing all that up. So you can also rotate entire kind of objects by using the circle on the outside edge of the asset. Okay, so we see here, this wall is too big for this. So we do have an option for this. So you go into stamps. First of all, delete this one in a second. You want the shorter one, and you can just plan it right in. Alright, so that's all our outlines done for this map. So now it's time to decorate. Now, the free version of Inkarnate is a bit limited with what you can use, but you can reuse some of the assets to create things like a stairs that I'm just about to do now. So you can use this wall here to rotate, keep it natural, try and align it in the middle there, and then just make another one, match it up, but then just press S to make it a little bit smaller, and then just keep doing that until you've got a stairway. So you can kind of take advantage of the assets to make your stairway there, because this is going into a cellar, which brings me to my next thing, which is the barrels. Only 3 steps. Oops. You can increase the size of these two, as you can see there, with W and S again. Now, this room, there's going to be quite a big battle in here between the players and some giant rats that have gone in here and done something, eaten, drank something, and then come through here and kind of attack the workers, which is why the party are here. So what we wanted to note next is where they broke in from, and that's here. So you want to put random stamps on it. Will probably be already on, and you want to just fill this area with little rocks just to denote that there's been a collapse here of some kind. And then next, you want to actually fill this corner up. So we want to kind of get rid of this big long thing here, which I don't know why I put that there. And this section also has caved in. This area actually goes to the Wizard's Tower main, like proper. So we don't want the players to go up there. So we're going to... Oh, you want to put that on the top layer. Oh, it won't work. Might have to get rid of this corner. Yeah, you just want to fill this corner up with rocks, like different sizes. Now they can, like in the actual adventure, they can actually empty this, but it would take them days. You would have to let them know that even their strongest person would take them days to do this. So, yeah, so you need to let them know that that is impassable. Okay, so we've got our barrels here. We got a collapsed in wall. Further along here, there's some other stuff, but I'll go through that in another video. Now we want to create the door. So go into stamps again. And I don't like the doors for Inkarnate that they give you for the free version, so we're just going to reuse the thin walls again. So let's go down, let's rotate, let's make it smaller. Alright, so that is our dungeon layout. We also need to put a well in. So there is a well, make it a bit bigger, put it in the middle of the room. We want to put some tables down. Table. You get 2 types of table, unfortunately, with the free version. I will be showing what you can do with premium as well, by the way, the pro, which in my opinion is very worth it. So basically, this is a complete map. This is what you can use. You can export it as an image. But first, we look like we're up in the clouds here, so we kind of want to fill in this background. So you go to the brush tool, you go to background, and we want to change it to this dungeon background dark, so it actually makes this, like this map pop. So we want to choose the grid blocks because it's bigger, easier. We want to make the brush actually big, so we can just do this. Oh, we want to change the opacity, so change the opacity right up, so it's... And now look at that. The map pops out. You can see it much more. Each one of these squares is 5 feet. So, you know, you can easily... We'll go over that in a later video, actually. And this is a simple... Like, we're going to be going through this, but this is a simple one-shot that will take 2 to 3 hours. And I'm actually going to be taking you guys through, with this series, how I set up a game. James does. How James sets up a game. Go through all the steps. And this is the first step, is making the map, of course, because this is where all the magic happens. This is where the players look and they see the magic. But yeah, next on the agenda is to just export the image. And you only get this base because you have, I don't think you can change it, no. But still, 2048 by 1500, like, with a free account is very good. Yeah, and that's the map exported. And then we'll go into how to import that into Roll20 and how to mess with that and align grids and stuff at a later date. I want to show you guys as well what you can achieve with the pro version of this. We are not sponsored, but Inkarnate is $25 a year for the pro, so here you go. Alright guys, I hope you've enjoyed it. Do not forget to save your map. So for this, for instance, it's going to be the Wizards Brewery free. Don't forget to save your map. And next time we're going to be talking about encounters, how to calculate your encounters with tons of tools online that can help you, and also how to align a map. Thanks for watching. I've been James, and I'll see you next time.